Error in measurement. So measurements are really just approximations because we can't really get everything exactly perfect. So the accuracy of every measurement taken is limited by the accuracy of the measuring device and obviously the person who does the measuring. For example, how tall are you? We could get a lot of people to measure your height and we don't really know what the true measurement would actually be. So what we could do is we could measure a lot of heights and then we could find an average. So if we have a look at this one, Molly's having her height measured by 8 people, and here are all the different ways her measurements came out. So if I'm asking to find the average, a way of writing average is x bar. And what we need to do to find an average is we simply add up all the scores. We divide our answer by 8 and we get 167.75. And that leads us on then to absolute error or measurement error. So any measurement should only be recorded correct to the smallest unit on the scale of the measuring device. This is called the precision of the device. So the absolute error of measurement is the greatest possible error or the furthest by which you can be wrong, and it's equivalent to half of the smallest unit marked on the scale. So let's put into practice how that's going to work. The radius of the Earth is 6,400 kilometres and it's being measured to the nearest 100 kilometres. And I'm just asking the question of between what values does the radius lie? So if we think about the absolute error, so absolute error, L-U-T-E, error, is half of the smallest unit. Now this is being measured to the nearest 100 kilometres, so it's a half of 100 kilometres, which is 50 kilometres. And then what I'm saying is, what could the radius of the Earth be? Well, the lowest bound, so if I write that down, the lowest bound that this could be is the 6,400, so what I measured it to be, minus 50 kilometres. And what that gives me is 6,350 kilometres, so that's the lowest boundary. And then I've got the highest bound. So what is the absolute largest error that I would accept? And that's 6,400 plus 50, which is 6,450. So I could say if I'm measuring the Earth to the nearest 100 kilometres, I would accept that the radius is somewhere between 6,350 kilometres and 6,450 kilometres. So let's have a look at example number 2. The diagram shows a section of builder's tape and it says, what is the smallest unit marked on the tape? Well, we can see this has been divided up into millimetres. So the smallest unit is 1 millimetre. And it says, how would you record measurements A and B? Well, A is 40 millimetres and B is 56 millimetres. And the reason I would accept that is that the measurement on this tape is to the nearest millimetre, so I need to give my measurement to the nearest millimetre. And it says, what is the absolute error of measurement A? Well, measurement A, the smallest unit, is half of the smallest unit, which is 1 millimetre. So the error is 0.5 millimetres. And that's the error that I would accept. So let's have a look at the next one, completing a table of values. So if I look at the first one, it's been done for me, and I can see that I've got 40 centimetres. So it's been measured to the nearest centimetre, so the smallest unit is 1 centimetre. The error is half of 1 centimetre, which is half a centimetre. And this textbook is saying to us plus or minus. And the limits are, what's the lowest limit I could accept? Well, that's 40 minus half a centimetre, which is 39.5. And the highest limit I'd accept is 40.5 centimetres. So if I look at the next one, 56 seconds, the smallest unit is obviously 1 second. So the error is half of 1 second, which is half a second. And so the lowest unit that I would be allowed to measure is got to be 56 minus half a second, which is 55.5 seconds, to the upper bound, which has to be 56.5 seconds. Now, if I look at the next one, it's 3.4 millilitres. So the smallest unit is 0.1 of a milliliter because the smallest unit is to 1 decimal place. Now, the absolute error is half of 1 milliliter, which is 0.05 milliliters, and your calculator will give that to you. So the lowest limit must be 3.35 milliliters, and the upper bound must be 3.45 milliliters. Now, the next one is I have a measurement of 600 kilograms, which has been measured to the nearest kilogram. So the smallest unit is 1 kilogram. And so half of 1 kilogram is half a kilogram. So that's the absolute error. So the lowest limit must be 599.5 kilograms, because that's 600 minus 0.5. And the upper bound must be 600 plus 0.5, so that's 600.5 kilograms. Now, if I measure the same thing again, and my measuring device only measures to the nearest 10 kilograms, the smallest unit is 10 kilograms. So the absolute error is half of 10 kilograms, which is 5 kilograms. So now my boundary changes, and I've got 595 kilograms to 605 kilograms. Thanks for watching.